Daf Yomi, today's daily page of the Talmud is tractate Avodah Zarah, page 26, and top of the page, but the last few words that start the story from the previous page was the story happened with Rabbi Menashe. Rav Menashe was traveling. Now we're top of 26a, Lebeit Torta. Rav Menashe was traveling to Beit Torta. Along the way, thieves encountered him and said to him, Where are you going? Amar lehen pumbedita. Kimat lebeit Torta parish amaret Amid Yehuda Ramat. Amar lahu yaditu le Yehoshua diraho anahu inche bishmate. So thieves encountered him, and they said, "Where are you going?" And Menashe said to them, "I'm going to Pumbedita," which was further away than Beit Torta. When he arrived at Beit Torta, he separated from the thieves who had planned to steal from him. They said to him, "You are a student of Yehuda the swindler." And Menashe said to them, "Do you know him so well that you can accuse him of swindling others? May it be God's will that these people be subject to Yehuda's ban of excommunication." Okay. Azla v'degenevata esrim v'taratin shnim v'lo atzlachu keven echazu asu kol tavu shematayu v'have behu chad girdina lo sharo yeshamda Achle Arya, Hainu Namrin Shigirdana, Dira Taizan Shata, Bitsira Mashane. The Gemara continues, the curse was effective as the thieves subsequently went and carried out thefts for 22 years, but they were unsuccessful. Really? They were stealing for 22 years, and they were unsuccessful. Who was monitoring this? Okay. But once they saw that their efforts were for naught, they all went and claimed their curse, meaning they asked forgiveness and requested the curse be lifted. But there was one weaver among them who did not come to lift his curse, and a lion ate him. Is this code or something? There was a weaver among the thieves, and a lion ate him. Okay, the Gemara notes that this explains the adage that people say with regard to a weaver who is not shy, but impudent, a year is deducted from his allotted years. Okay, next. Tachazi. Ma ben gan ve'bave v'listi in Eretz Yisrael. This is very interesting. Tachazi is not usually used in the Talmud. In the Talmud, it's usually used in the Zohar. Maybe in Yerushalmi more, but not in the Bavli that much. So I wonder if this is a code. 22 years, thieves. Further, this, that, lion ate him, weaver, who knows? But anyways, with regard to these two anecdotes, the Gemara comments, come and see the difference between the thieves of Babylonia and the bandits of Eretz Yisrael. Although thieves are typically less violent than bandits, the thieves in Babylonia reacted to Rabbi Menashe's action by denouncing Rabbi Yehuda, whereas the bandits in Eretz Yisrael praised the wisdom of Rabbi Akiva. Okay? So, someone told me this yesterday. 2 days ago. Someone told me this. Yeah. Wow. I just guessed. Is it in 26? Interesting. We finished the Talmud, now we're doing the Mishnah. New Mishnah. Bas Yisrael, lo tiyaled tanochis. Bnei Shmiras ben Avodah Zarah. Aber nachas mir Bas Yisrael. Bas Yisrael lo tinok bana shenachis. Aber nachas minika bana A Jewish woman may not deliver the child of a Gentile woman, because in doing so she is delivering a child who will engage in idol worship. But one may allow a Gentile woman to deliver the child of a Jewish woman. Similarly, a Jewish woman may not nurse. A Jewish woman may not nurse the child of a Gentile woman, but one may allow a Gentile woman to nurse the child of a Jewish woman. While the Gentile woman is on the Jewish woman's property. Maybe nursing doesn't mean like milk itself, it means like taking care of it or something. Gemara, okay, that's the Mishnah. Gemara says, Tanu Rabanan, Bas Yisrael, Lo Yitziarez Nachis, Mishberes Ben Avodah Zarah. Benachas Lo Yitziarez Bas Yisrael, Meshech Hashurin La Shfichus Damim, Dir Ramel. The Gemara decides a dispute related to the ruling of the Mishnah. The sages taught a Jewish woman may not deliver the child of a Gentile woman, because in doing so, she is delivering a child who will engage in idol worship. And one may not allow a Gentile to deliver the child of a Jewish woman, because Gentiles are suspected of bloodshed. This is the statement of Rabbi Meir. אחרוי סמדוס על גבו, אבל לא בינו לבינו, רבי מאיר אומר, אפילו אחרוי סמדוס על גבי נמי לו, דזימנין, דמנחו לידה הפוטה, וקטלה ולא מתחזק. And the rabbis say one may allow a Gentile woman to deliver a child of a Jewish woman when other women are standing over her watching her actions, but not when they are alone together. And Rabbi Meir says, even when other women are standing over her, one may not allow a Gentile woman to deliver the child of a Jewish woman, because there are times when the midwife places her hand on the infant's temple and kills him by applying pressure to the area, and the act is not seen. Okay? Ki ahi itita jamra lechaberta, molda Yehudaita, בת מולדה יהודאיתה, אמרה לה, לפי בשעתה ההיא איתתה, דקה משפלנה, בינייהו דמה, כי ופיה דנהרה. The Gemara relates a story that validates this concern. This is like that incident involving a certain Gentile woman who said to her fellow Gentile, "You are the midwife of Jewish women, the daughter of a midwife of Jewish women." This was meant as an insult. In response, the other Gentile said to her, "May as many evils befall that woman," meaning you, "as the number of Jewish infants that I have killed, as I extract blood from them like the foam of a river." This Gentile midwife claimed to have caused the deaths of many Jewish children. The Gemara clarifies the opinion of the rabbis, and the rabbis who are not concerned to the same extent as Rabbi Meir would say to you that this is not so. It's not so. It was merely through the words that the Gentile midwife was establishing herself. In other words, she was bragging in order to intimidate her antagonist, whereas in reality she did not kill any infants. Okay, that could be. Bas Yisrael lo tadik. Tanu Rabanan Bas Yisrael tanik bena. Shanachis mbnei shmegader es ben aber Zarah. Benachas otenig es bena shel Bas Yisrael. Mbnei shechashudah shfichus damim divrei Rabbi Meir. יחכמים אומרים, אחרי ספניקה ספנה של בס ישחרר בזמן שאחר אסון לזוגה בו, אבל לא בינו לבינה. ורבי מאיר אומר, אפילו אחרוס עומדו זוגה בינה מלו, תזים נשאי שמה לדעת מהברה וקראת ללה. The Mishnah teaches that a Jewish woman may not nurse the child of a Gentile woman. The sages taught a Jewish woman may not nurse the child of a Gentile woman, because in doing so, she is effectively raising a child who will engage in idol worship. This is talking about, I guess, Gentiles who were actually idol worshippers. And one may not allow a Gentile woman to nurse the child of a Jewish woman because she is suspected of bloodshed. This is the statement of Rabbi Meir. And the rabbis say one may allow a Gentile woman to nurse the child of a Jewish woman when other women standing over her, but not when the Gentile woman is alone together with the child. And Rabbi Meir says even when other women are standing over her, one may not allow a Gentile woman to nurse the child, because there are times when she smears poison intended for him upon her breast when she is outside the house, and subsequently kills him with it while she is nursing. Wow. Different times, that's all I'm going to say. Okay, Utzricha. The Gemara remarks, and it is necessary for the dispute between Rabbi Meir and the rabbis to be stated with regard to both the case of a midwife and that of a wet nurse. The reason for the season, the reason is the Ashbim Milades Bahid Kamri Rabban Shari. If the Tana had taught us only the halacha of a midwife, one might assume that it is only in the case that the rabbis said that it is permitted to allow a Gentile to deliver a Jewish infant because it is not possible for her to kill him due to the fact that other women see her. But with regard to a wet nurse, as it is possible that she might smear poison upon her breast while she is still outside the house and then kill him with it, one might say that the rabbis concede to Rabbi Meir that a Gentile woman may not be allowed to nurse the son of a Jewish woman under any circumstances. And if the Talmud had taught us only the halacha of a wet nurse, one might assume that it is only in that case that Rabbi Meir said that it is prohibited for a Gentile to nurse a Jewish infant due to the fact that she might smear poison upon her breast while outside the house and kill him with it. But with regard to a midwife, since it is not possible for her to kill him where other women are standing over her, one might say that Rabbi Meir concedes to the rabbis. The Gemara concludes, it is therefore necessary for this dispute to be stated with regard to both cases. Okay. Yehudis mialedes Aramis b'socho אבל לא בחינם. אמר רבי יוסף בשכר שרי משום איבה. Based on the above discussion, all agree that a Jewish woman may not deliver the child of a Gentile woman. And the Gemara raises a contradiction from a Braita. A Jewish woman may deliver the child of an Aramean woman in exchange for payment, but not for free. Rav Yosef said in response, it is permitted in exchange for payment due to the enmity that would be engendered if Jews refused to deliver Gentile infants despite being offered money to do so. Sofer Rav Yosef lemema on enachis b'Shabbat b'Sachar shari mishum eiva amar leBaye yachla lememar la didan dibinat reShabta michalinan alayu didchu lo minat reShabta lo michalinan. Rav Yosef thought to say delivering the child of Gentile on Shabbat in exchange for payment is permitted due to enmity. Abai said to him, the concern of enmity does not apply here because she can say to the Gentile, with regard to our own women who keep Shabbat, we desecrate Shabbat for them. With regard to your women who do not keep Shabbat, we do not desecrate Shabbat for them. Okay. Sofer Rav Yosef lememar ono ke b'Sachar shari mishum eiva amar leAbaye yachla lememar I penuya hi benalin sobe esheti shiloka mizdamna pegavrai. Rav Yosef also thought to say nursing the child of a Gentile woman in exchange for payment is permitted due to enmity. Abaye said to him, the concern of enmity does not apply, because she can say, if she is unmarried, I wish to get married. And if she is a married woman, she may say, I do not wish to become repulsive to my husband, since she can provide a reasonable excuse for refusing to nurse a Gentile child. The concern of enmity does not apply. Zarah of Yosef lememar. Sofer of Yosef lememar. Tanya goy v'roi behema daka. Lo malin v'lo maridin asoki v'sachar shari mishumeva. Yosef thought to say a similar idea concerning that which is taught in Brita. With regard to Gentiles and shepherds of small domesticated animals, one may not raise them out of a pit, and one may not lower them into a pit. Rav Yosef suggested that even so, it is permitted to raise them from the pit, exchange for payment due to enmity. Amar le'Abaye yachol lomar lo ka'ipri ha'igara inami nikita li zimna lebe devar. Abaye said to him, it is prohibited to raise a Gentile from a pit, even in exchange for payment, because one can say an excuse to him, such as, my son is standing on the roof, and I must go use this ladder to help him down from the roof. Alternatively, he can say to him, a time has been appointed for me to appear in the court, and I must attend to this matter. Since the Jew can provide a legitimate excuse for refusing to aid the Gentile, there is no need to extract him from the pit. Apropos the notion of raising someone from or lowering him into a pit, the Gemara notes that Rabbi Abahu taught the following while standing before Rabbi Yochanan. With regard to Gentiles and shepherds of domesticated animals, one may not raise them from a pit. Sorry, I don't know why I find this so funny. Maybe that is just so not relevant. I don't know. But anyway, we're continuing on to a 26b, top of the page here. Just 1 second, please. Okay. Top of the page, 26b. V'lo moridin ela maminin v'moisrois v'mushumadim. Moridin v'lo ma'alin. And one may not lower them into a pit, but the heretics and the informers and the apostates are lowered into a pit, but not raised out of it. Amole ani shone l'chol avedas achicha. Derav oises mishumad. Ve'at amrit moridin semi mikan mishumad. Rabbi Yochanan said to Rabbi Abahu, I teach that the verse, and so you shall do with every lost item of your brother. Deuteronomy 22, verse 3. 22, verse 3. I'm looking to see if there's any connection here. Okay. Serves to include the apostate in one's obligation to return a lost item to another Jew, and you say that one may lower him into a pit. Remove the term apostate from here. Velishni le kan b'mishumad ochel nevelos eteavon, kan b'mishumad ochel nevelos lahachis. Kasaval ochel nevelos lahachis minhu. The Gemara asks, and let Rabbi Abahu answer Rabbi Yochanan as follows. Here, with regard to a lost item, the verse includes an apostate because it's referring to an apostate who eats non-kosher meat due to his appetite, and therefore he succumbs to the temptation. Conversely, there, with regard to raising an apostate from a pit, I'm referring to an apostate who eats non-kosher meat to express insolence, lahachis. The Gemara answers, Rabbi Abahu holds that one who eats non-kosher meat, lahachis, to express insolence is a heretic rather than apostate. Itmar, we learned, Mishumad, Pligiravacha Varabin, Chadamar Leteavon, Mishumad, Lahachis min habe, Chadamar Afilu Hachis Nami Mishumad. Ela Ezehumin, Ze Oved Avodah Zarah. It was stated with regard to the definition of an apostate that Rav Acha and Rabin disagree. One says that someone who transgresses a prohibition due to his appetite is an apostate, while one who transgresses a prohibition in order to express insolence is a heretic. And one says that even one who sins to express insolence is considered an apostate. Even one... Okay, rather, who is considered a heretic? This is an idol worshipper. Meisvei achal parosh. Echad o yatush echad. Harei ze mishumad. V'hachal zilhachasur, digitali mishumad. The Gemara raises an objection from a Braita against an opinion that one who sins to express insolence is considered a heretic. The Braita teaches if one ate a single flea or a single mosquito, he is considered an apostate. The Gemara clarifies the objection, but here it must be assumed that the insect was eaten to express insolence, as it is unappetizing, and yet this Braita teaches that one who eats a flea or mosquito is an apostate. The Gemara answers, there he desires to express the taste of forbidden food, and therefore is considered to be eating only due to temptation. Okay? Amar ma'amoridin, avalo ma'alin hashta, achote matchatinan, asoke miboe, amarav. Amarav Yosef, Amarav Yosef, Amarav Yosef, Amarav Yosef, Amarav Yosef. Bar Chama, Amarav Sheshes, Lo Nitzcha, She'im Haita Ma'ala V'bo, Igarara, Dinakit Le, Ila, Ve'amar, Lo Techot Chaveta, Ila Ve. The Gemara returns to the subject of lowering someone into a pit. The Master said, heretics, informers, and apostates are lowered into a pit, but not raised out of it. The Gemara analyzes the statement. Now that it is known that one actively lowers them into a pit, is it necessary to teach that one does not raise them from it? Rav Yosef Bar Chama said that Rav Sheshet said, no, it is necessary to teach this halacha because it can be inferred from here that if there was a hedge, if there's a ledge in the pit, a Jew scrapes it off so that the one in the pit cannot ascend from it, as the Jew employs a pretext and says that he is removing the ledge so that animals do not descend upon the one in the pit while he is trapped in the pit. Rabbi Rav Yosef the Amrit Haravayu lo nitzricha she'im hayta even al piv habe'er machase amar le'avo echiyuta ilave Ravi Amar she'im hayasulam misalko amar be'ena le'achote beri migara. Rabbi and Rav Yosef both say a different answer. No, it is necessary to teach this, as it can be inferred from there that if there was a stone at the mouth of the well that one had fallen into, a Jew covers it and says that he is covering the opening in order to pass his animals over it, Ravina said one can learn from here that if there was a ladder in the pit, a Jew removes it and says, I require the ladder to lower my son from the roof. Okay, Tanavaman Yisrael Malas Agoy Lishum Gael Nebugi Lishum Muna Lilag Vigoy Loim al Yisrael Lifnei Shechashuddin Lishpichas Damim Divrei Rabbi Meir. The Gemara discusses the subject of assisting or receiving aid from a Gentile in the context of circumcision. The sages taught a Jew may circumcise a Gentile for the sake of making him a convert. This is to the exclusion of circumcising a Gentile for the sake of removing a worm. A myrna, which is not permitted, as it is forbidden to heal a Gentile. This is clearly not for today. A Jew should heal a Gentile because it's a Kiddush Hashem, and just because it's part of being a human being. I don't think anyone would say that a Jew shouldn't. In fact, they do that over there, the hospital there, right? Story there. But one may not allow a Gentile to circumcise a Jew in any situation because Gentiles are suspected of bloodshed. Maybe those ones in those days. This is the statement of Rabbi Meir. Okay. אבל בינו לבינו לא. ורבי מאיר אומר אפילו אחרים עובדים על גבי נמי לא. דזימנין דמצלה סכינה ושווה לקרוס שפחה. The rabbis say one may allow a Gentile to circumcise a Jew while others are standing over him and observing his actions, but not while they are alone together. And Rabbi Meir says even while others are standing over him is also not permitted, as there are times when a Gentile might tilt a knife and render the Jew one who his wiener has been severed, and he will be unable to father children. Okay. Next up, V'savar me'ah goy lo minu Yeshem ba'roif Yisrael yesh ba'roif kuti V'rofe aramai Yamul aramai V'lo yamul kuti Divrei Rabbi Meir Rabbi Yehuda Omer Yamul kuti V'ayamul aramai. The Gemara asks, but does Rabbi Meir hold that one may not allow a Gentile to circumcise a Jew? And the Gemara raises a contradiction against this claim from the following Braita. A city in which there is no Jewish physician, and in which there is a Samaritan physician and an Aramean, meaning a Gentile physician, it is preferable that the Aramean circumcise the Jewish boys of the city and the Samaritan not circumcise them. This is the statement of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda says it is preferable that the Samaritan circumcise the boys and the Aramean not circumcise them. Rabbi Meir holds that it is preferable for an Aramean Gentile to perform the circumcision, despite the fact that Samaritans are considered Jewish to a certain extent. Eifoch. Rabbi Meir Omer Yamul Kuti V'lo Amai. Rabbi Yehuda Omer V'lo Kuti. The Gemara answers reverse their opinions, so that Rabbi Meir says it's preferable that the Samaritans circumcise the boys and not the Aramean, and Rabbi Yehuda says it's preferable the Aramean circumcise them and not the Samaritan. The Sofer Yehuda Arami Shavardami Yetan Rabbi Yehuda Omer Minayel Mina Bagoy Shum Pesula Shinema Yata Et Briti Shishmao. The Gemara asks, and does Rabbi Yehuda hold that it is permitted for circumcision to be performed by an Aramean? But this is a ton of Brian that Yehuda says, from where is it derived with regard to circumcision performed by a Gentile that it is not valid? It is derived from a verse, as it is stated, and God said to Abraham, as for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your seed after you, throughout your generations. Genesis 17:9. Okay? My covenant, Briti. Here is a reference to circumcision, Brit Milah. And therefore the verse is teaching that only Abraham and his descendants, meaning Jews, are qualified to perform circumcision. And rather, the Gemara suggests, actually do not reverse it. As for the apparent contradiction between the two statements of Rabbi Meir, the Gemara explains, and what are we dealing with here?